And he was a great man. Loved him to death. Man.
That's hilarious.
And Caballos, loved him.
Yeah.
And Caballos is a tough guy, I'll say it. Tentor Revelar.
Yeah.
Then he used to come up to Sacramento and give me privates. And nobody knew Filipino arts.
Right.
And
Now you grew up in a time when Philippine martial arts was first coming out.
yeah.
You know, right out of Stockton, everybody
Yep.
started to push out and
Yep.
and really get this thing going.
And that was because of Inosanto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Danny, great man. I did a seminar with Danny once in Vegas. And Danny was taking notes of everything I was doing. And I'm looking at him. You know why? Danny wouldn't let anything slip by him.
Right.
Inosanto, wonderful.
Yeah. You know, and he's still that good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him.
Oh, yeah.
He's still going. I'm
Dan
just really
Inosanto
impressed.
is a great, great man.
Yeah.
And like I said, my connection with Danny is his first cousin, and I came up in the ranks together.
Wow.
Hospital.
Well, we're gonna use you to get us adored, Danny, Mister Grandmaster. We want to come see you.
Danny's special, man.
Yeah.
He's just special. And
Dude,
if
he's
everybody,
ultimate student.
yes,
Ultimate
And
student.
That's what all these people are.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you want to aspire to be.
Yes.
The ultimate student. And when I was in Vegas with Danny, you know, I hadn't seen Danny for a while, and he's walking down the hotel and says, "Danny?" He goes, "Bruce." He's a great man.
Yeah.
Good man.
You know, and he's still
loves the
sharp
arts.
as a tack. I mean.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even
He-
in.
he
I mean,
doesn't-
he's in his 90s plus, and I'm like.
He doesn't let anything slip. And I remember him and Richard Bustillo, and yeah, I could tell you a lot of
I
stories.
mean, considering you're 170, I mean, it's amazing how you.
72.
I feel
72.
like it.
72.
I feel like it.
Well, it
That
takes
guy
a
right
toll
there,
on you.
He used to hurt me a lot.
Huh?
That guy.
That was my first Kempo teacher right there.
First. It looks a
Oh,
little
you,
mean.
you have no idea. Right, Mike? Love him to death, man. And that's the other thing. People, you got to appreciate where you come from, what you've done.
You know,
Yeah, you have to.
I have a question for you because it's amazing the amount of people that you are able to call into here. Is that just from years and years of getting to meet and know everybody and just say, hey,
I don't know.
you know, I mean,
I think
what draws them to your events?
after me, I think when Mitosi died, he died in a bad way. And you know about it. He died in prison.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who tried to save his life. I was being threatened and all kinds of things.
Damn.
But I also found out truth. And what did I learn from Mitosi? You make it a point to go and learn. One example of a guy that I studied from who was Mitosi's top guy in Hawaii, Thomas S.H. Young. I remember him calling, I always tell this story. Professor Young and I became very close. And I remember he called me once and said, "Bruce, I want you to come to Hawaii. I want to show you how I train now. I want to show you how I train kosho." You know how long it took me to get a plane ticket? Not long at all.
Boom, get in there.
You know where he took me? Ballroom dancing.
Ballroom dancing.
Yes. He said, "What did you see?" So I noticed how everybody was blending. Nobody was intrusive. They entered with each other when they started moving. And he says, nobody was angry. They were all smiling. And he says, "You understand kosho." Professor Young knew.
Yeah.
And that was Matosi.
Wow.
Okay? And people look at Kempo. Matosi was Hokia. It's monkey.
Right.
Monkey style. And when he moved, it was here.
Right.
I've been lucky. Been very lucky,
Yeah.
man.
Wow.
And I hope, Sando would tell you the same thing. I remember Danny, I was in school when he was in Torrance. Poss and I went down to see him. He was changing pictures out as well. They would have Caballas up on top one time, another time Yaron, another time maybe Max Sarmiento, maybe different guys. I'm looking at him and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "This guy's going to be in town tomorrow."
Right.
So,
So you gotta put the right guy up. Say, here, you're the top guy today. So let's put your
but no, Danny,
That's funny.
Danny Inosanto is the ultimate student.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
And I think what people need to do in the arts, you find a mentor. It's not that you practice a technique, practice the heart. Example, one more thing. And I don't see him here, Charles Garrett. Charles and I are very close. He's a shorter guy. He studied directly from Johann Soken,
Wow.
which was the founder of the OKF. There's a guy named Glenn Primrose, and they were trying to reform the Okinawan Karate Federation.
Right.
And they wanted me to be an advisor. I said, okay. So I went. These guys are arguing about how the way Soken would do a front stance and all this. And I'm listening, and one of them says, what do you think? So I think you're all full of crap. And no, I'm going to tell you why. They were arguing over the way Soken did a front stance.
Right.
He says, how do you know he didn't have hemorrhoids?
Right.
I says, you guys, if you want to preserve him, preserve his spirit. That's what this is all about.
Right.
I see Kabbalists, I can look at him, I know what he's thinking. I read people.
Right.
And that's what you read in a teacher. Kabbalist was always sizing you up, man. He was a warrior.
Yeah, we've talked to some of his other students.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Angyo would look at you and say, "Oh, he's okay, but you know what? I could kill him." And you know,
That's a scary thought.
no, Angyo was a warrior, man.
Yeah.
He was a warrior. Great
Well,
man.
you know, you only hear great things about.
Kabbalist?
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't a picture of him smiling though.
Yeah. Ever.
No,
No.
he was the first.
Yeah.
First guy to teach Filipino arts in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
I have kind of like a funny little thing. I say to people, I go, hey, you Pinoy? Yeah. You Sayan, Ilocano, Tagalog, or you from Stockton?
Or are you from Stockton?
Tells me a lot, man.
Yeah. Oh, Stockton. Okay.
But it's too bad he's not here because of problem. Carlito Banjak.
Oh yeah.
Carlito and I are very good friends.
He's doing much better though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he is.
he's getting a
He
lot
wanted
better.
to be here. He called me about 2 weeks ago. Alamany, love Rick.
We're trying to. I'm hoping to get to talk with Master Alamani. I mean,
I'll be seeing him. I
let
gotta
him know
go see-
about us.
We have a lot.
Tell him we're nice guys.
We're not terrible.
No, Rick and I are very close. Well, Rick and I shared.
Yeah.
He was the first guy introduced him to Tosi. And Rick will never forget it because took him out to the Folsom and he walked out. He says, my God, I'm in this cynical place and I just felt like I just left church. And he says,
Wow.
Matosi would touch you. He said he knew everything about me. Everything. So it was him.
Wow.
He would read you. He knew. And I don't know what he saw in me, but something.
Wow. That's
And
impressive.
Yeah. How did you develop that then? To be able to read people? How did you work that? How did it become a part of you to be just?
Probably my other career. I was a musician.
Oh,
Played with a lot of very famous people.
who did you play?
Bass. Bass and I sang.
And you said.
And
Yeah, I
you
played with
sang.
some big name people, man. Played with like the Temptations. Gladys Knight was on stage. with
What?
all those
What?
people. Went on tour with Bobby Bland. A group called the Ballads. Used to sit in. And yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby
What,
Bland.
you would just look at the crowd and see that guy's going to start a fight, that guy's going to start a fight?
No, you can read people. You can read people.
Wow.
You know, you don't. And it's everybody. You know, you get doing something, it changes you,
Yep.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you don't
definitely.
need to do that. You know, be who you are, man. Martial arts is a vehicle to express yourself. It's all it is. And whether you're eating sushi,
But you know, it's
kimchi, or whatever,
amazing.
it
A lot
doesn't
of
matter.
people forget that or don't even realize
Yeah, I
that.
know.
I mean, you see that every time you walk around, man. You know,
Mike Dean over there, when I would go and study from him, he remembers I would come in, to the school, and I just got done playing music, didn't I? I'd have booze on my breath, and I'd get out.
Right, because when you play music, you have to have
you have
booze.
to have a drink.
You're playing nightclubs and stuff, but you learn to read people when you're doing that.
Wow.
You know, you gotta, so that made me wise in certain things, made me stupid in others.
Yeah. That's why he beat it out of you.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And you know what? I love him for it, and he knows it.
You're the better for it, that's why.
Yeah, you know.
You jumped on that vehicle and you're
So
still holding on.
what do you hope to have happen after this? I mean, you know, how long does this go on? And do you want, like, you know, God forbid that you die tomorrow, but
Well, until I
what's-
retire, which is a dirt nap.
yeah. So,
Uh,
but after you, then what?
I want to
do,
see
do you hope that it goes?
I
continues,
hope that the martial artist understands that it's a learning that's the most important.
Right.
not the award.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about I'm a 10th, 15th degree black belt. It's that you're going to get your butt up in the morning
Right.
and you go travel,
And
man.
you go, yeah.
And you learn. It doesn't matter whether it's Filipino, Indonesian, whatever. And all of them have cultures they're attached to.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Definitely.
you got to respect the cultures.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that is a key element in any of the martial arts.
Yeah.
That where
Well-
does it come from, and why is it the way it is? Because of the culture.
Well, and you know, like for instance, Indonesian art, man, you don't want to touch anybody with your left hand. No, I'm serious. You gotta study the culture. Chinese arts, Japanese arts are all very important, and I respect them all.
That's beautiful.
People like Ming Lum, who used to come to the gathering, Mike Young, all these guys, they're treasures. And love every one of them. Every one of them, man. So, no, I'm just a student.
You know,
I like that.
You always seem to impress me more and more every time we get to talk to you, because, you know, obviously during the few years that we've been coming here, it's hard to get to talk to you because you're always moving. You're always going. This is the first
Might
time I
as
think
well.
that somebody's ever. You know, I mean, if you're gonna do this, you take that dirt nap. We're just honored to have you before that time because
I got a problem with worms, so
Yeah. So he's staying above ground as
I'm
long
trying.
as he
I'm
can.
trying. I'm trying. You know what? I love people, man.
Yeah.
And that little thing with
It shows.
that little thing with Trias, that guy meant a lot to me. And he was the very first student of Mitose. Nobody knows that. They think it was Chow. No, it was Trias. And the one that told me that was Thomas Young.
wow, he told he let
We're
you.
driving in Honolulu, and I asked him. I said, "How come you and Sensei Trias are so close?" He said, "Bruce, you know, he knew Mitose before anybody." I went, and I got all the respect for Robert Trias, Bob Bowles, all those guys, and they're very important people. And I would die for everyone.
You know, you mentioned that you didn't like some of the arrogance that comes from these people who have these 15th degree black belts and whatever else. How do we get away from those things? I mean,
Well,
because it become inherent that,
here's what it is, okay? If you're learning and you start getting a little bit cocky, somebody's going to shut you up.
right.
And it's better to play it safe and just be a nice person. But a lot of these guys, if they live for that, they're making a mistake. But doesn't mean there's not hope.
Right.
You just hope they
At
grow.
some point, hopefully somebody knocks them on the
You
ass
do.
enough to say, okay, I
Yeah.
need to wisen up and not be a...
Yeah, you want to learn.
It is quite humbling.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it hurts, but it's
I
humbling.
mean, the first ass kicking I got was from a greenbelt girl. So, yeah, I was humbled real early on.
Jerry Pennington, there's a gal over there.
Yeah.
Denise, I haven't seen her in a long time.
She made me squeal.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We went to
I
Vegas to see her.
Denise here?
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Jensen.
Oh,
She's
Jensen.
with
No, I
Pennington
haven't.
right now. Yeah, Denise Gonzalez, yeah.
Yeah, she made me squeal.
And there's a Kempo, a female Kempo practitioner I have all the respect, Diane Tanaka.
Oh.
She's great, man. And, you know, people, you don't make assumptions.
No, you can't.
Yeah, and
That
Well-
person just doesn't look like, you
well,
know.
I'm gonna tell you something. Anybody who's connected with Jerry Pennington, you better know your stuff. Because that dude, he's a great fighter, man.
Right.
I think we've become good friends. Ron Martini is here.
Right.
Probably one of the greatest fighters of all
You know,
time.
I remember the
He beat
very first
everybody.
time I saw you, I actually didn't think you knew martial arts. Because you were just kind of hopping around. I'm like, okay. Then somebody says, no, that's the guy. He goes, what guy? He goes,
Yeah, I think the first time we saw him, he was with his wife, and they
Right.
were walking
Yeah,
around
they were walking
the
around
main
together, yeah.
the main room.
And we didn't think you were a martial artist. We thought you were just like some, a fanboy walking around. And then
That's
they
me.
said,
I'm just a family.
yeah. And then and everybody's like, no, that's.
So we were right and wrong at the same time.
And that was pretty funny. I was like, huh, that's crazy. And then I see you toss people around like, whoa,
Oh.
this guy can actually do something. He really is who they say he is.
Nah.
And that was very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a
That's why
walking
we knew
legend
we had
in
to
this
get you
group.
on our show.
Nah,
yeah.
nah.
Well, today limping legend, but
Oh, I'm
you're
really
still-
limping. Bro.
But and Naeem brought this up earlier. You lost a lot of weight.
Yep.
What have you been doing? Because I need to do that.
I'm on a Stouffer's diet.
Stouffer's.
I get it.
It's a microwave. And you don't get healthy from doing that.
You
Nah,
look good though. You look good.
well,
So
what's
what's
it
on your
called?
agenda for today? I know you got
Oh,
lots
I
of
got- I got
Hey,
it.
let's talk about the actual
Okay.
the gathering
this thing.
because
Yeah.
I really want to promote this idea that like for next year and the years after, what's in store and what's happening with
What do
the
we
gathering.
need to keep it?
Yeah.
You got to keep telling people about the gathering. It's important to go, and it's not about them. It's about the arts. That wall of legends out there.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Mr. Marchini will call me a lot, and he's everybody doing this Hall of Fame stuff. The Hall of Fame, well, the mind you have to be deceased, but the Hall of Fame is the future of students and teaching people to stay a student. And the second you take yourself from that, when I hear somebody going, "Oh, I got that, I've done that," no, you haven't. you got
That's just ego talking at
Yeah.
that point.
well,
isn't
they don't know any better, man. I used to know 280 katas.
it? Right.
I'm losing it now, but that's a lot of forms.
Oh yes.
I did that because they were there.
Right.
That's why. Whether they're Japanese, Chinese, and you look at similarities of the arts, and you're going to find out they're all connected.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's all connected.
280. Wow.
I used to.
He's down to 260 now.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I try.
Well, you know them. Can you perform them? That's a different.
Probably not now.
Yeah.
I got to get that DVD for you. I got it.
Can't tell if Mike's sleeping or not.
He's not.
Okay.
I think he wants to hurt me.
We'll help you.
But
He's
listen,
got those eyes.
I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
Die for him in a heartbeat. He's a good man.
Well, I'll kill for him.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
he'll actually try to kill me as well.
I'd die for everybody here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that to be a true statement with you.
And I think a lot of
Yes.
them would do the same to you.
Yeah,
Or
I
for
think
you.
so.
For you, not to you.
I think now it's like when you talk, they'll jump.
Nah.
Yeah,
You became that guy
don't
without
know.
trying.
you became that guy,
Nah.
and you don't even realize it.
But see, that's the thing. That's what makes him humble is that he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
He's the king that doesn't want the title.
I want nothing to do with it.
He's like, nope.
I just want to make people happy.
Oh, it's very sweet.
That's all.
Yeah.
So, I think, are we good?
I think we're
These
good.
guys
Yeah, we're
are
good.
these
Thank
guys
you.
are
Folks, this has
taking
been
over.
a special edition of College Conversation
edition.
with the man who put on these shows of the gatherings and
Which
wow.
you need to come to if you haven't been to
Yeah.
one. Make
Now,
time.
are they going to be here again next year? Is it going to
Yeah,
be?
it'll be here next
It'll be
year.
here
Okay,
again
search
next
it,
year.
search
One week further up.
Further up. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have some people that I consider okuden that are not here because they changed the date.
right.
And those guys, Roy Goldberg of Daito Rueki Jits,
Right.
Sam Chin, and a gentleman by the name of Bernard Langen. Bernie is a sponge.
Wow.
He'll suck up everything he can. I look at him and I'm going, love the arts.
So we're going to give you
Be a
last word
student,
on
yeah.
promoting this and building a shout out and talking about your gathering
Okay?
and what you want.
I'll say something real quick.
Good.
What I'd like you to do is go to the gathering for the purpose of not just what you're going to learn, but you're going to meet people. You're going to meet friends, whether they're Korean practitioners, Japanese, Chinese. Once you meet these guys, you'll never forget them. That's why you come to the gathering. Then you'll see that you're going to look for similarities. You're not going to nitpick each other. You're going to be learning from each other. And you're going to learn to be happy. Oh, you can be happy fighting too.
Yes, you can.
I brought up Wally J.
Smarts.
One real quick thing I want to say, and I say it to everybody. When I was with Mitosi, I asked him something. I said, where did you learn your throwing? Because he went from Japan to Hawaii. I figured he was going to say Okazaki.
Right.
His answer, I know. And I kept thinking, what does that mean? I know. And so anyway, Wally J. Okay, hold on. So I was talking to Mitosi. He said he knew. What does that mean? It's a guy named Sid Kufrath. He was also Danzaru under Okazaki.
Right.
Kufrath, him and Mitosi were very good friends. I was teaching at the AJJF convention. And Kufrat's over in the corner. And I'm looking at him. And I knew he was very close to Matosi.
Right.
He had this smirk. So I had to go over, and I says, Professor, he said, yeah, Bruce. Where did Mitosi learn his throwing? He said, he knew.
He knew. I said, God damn it. He's like,
That's because he understood.
Right.
Kufrat was a great man. And he would have been the head of Dunton. He was a great man. I'm very fortunate to meet him and know him. And his daughter usually comes here and teaches massage.
cool.
So anyway, I'm going to shut up. Please come to the gathering.
Come to the gathering, make friends.
Since 1981.
Family since 1981.
So this is a great
It's an honor for us.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
Really.
you're kind of an idol to everybody here. So
Yeah.
this has been Golly Conversation with me, Rick,
And me, Naeem.
and our wonderful guest,
Hanshi,
Hanchi Bruce Jetnik.
Yeah, you got
You
it.
get that,
Boom.
you get that, but you ruin everybody else.
I know. Go figure.
All right, folks.
And 3, 2, 1, cut!
Thank you.
Tell me I'm wrong, Rick.
No.